Let's have a chat right now with Lydia Brown. Lydia Brown is a psychologist. Now, Lydia, the hardest thing about running a marathon, I would imagine, is... Well, part of the easiest part of it is that you know that it finishes. One of the hardest things about this marathon is that the end date could move at any time. So what, if anything, are basic coping mechanisms for people who've just had enough, but they don't know when the end is?
That's right. I think that's one of the biggest challenges of this lockdown is that we thought here in Victoria that we were, that the worst was over. We've been through so much as a state last year through the lockdowns. And we thought that was behind us. And these little hiccups have been a bit retriggering for some people, especially those who had a really tough time last year. And I think a lot of people's nervous systems are very keyed up. So in my work as a psychologist, one of the most common things that I hear is that people have difficulty getting to sleep and they keep waking up during the night and they just can't sleep. And that's because everybody's feeling really quite keyed up and they're struggling to relax.
Because it's something... Sorry, I was going to say, because I'd imagine, right, so if you're a worker, you've got a guaranteed wage, you're working from home, there's a level of frustration about it, but there's not a sort of hand-to-mouth existence desperation that kicks in, right? So if you're Paul, who's running a business, you can hear his obvious passion, right? If you're one of his workers, you can understand why you would be nervous because, look, most people, casual workers, they're hardly putting money aside. You've sort of basically spend the bank account every week, every fortnight. But also there was a feeling too. I was talking to a mate this afternoon, and you could really feel, and I know that there is a feeling that unless I'm living in Victoria, we don't quite get it. So I'm fully aware of that. But the level of aggro is just through the roof, and I think that leadership and politicians need to understand that what even worked 3 months ago doesn't work now in terms of soothing people.
Look, I think it's difficult. I think that it's hard, to kind of to soothe people at the moment. But I think there are things that we can do ourselves to help us relax. We can literally use relaxation techniques to help calm down the nervous system, and I think that's so helpful. While it's not an alternative to financial issues, if you can't pay your bills. That's a real concern and something needs to be done about that. But also there are things that are within our control that we can do to help keep calm in these times. No, but it's a good point, right? So read up on some of those things. Look, we get it, right? Breathing techniques are not going to help pay for your business, but for those who don't have that immediate pressure on them, there are lots of ways, as you say, just to try to take a break. Lovely to talk to you. We're probably going to have to talk again when there's another one of these damn things, but thank you so much for the chat. I appreciate it. Great. Thank you, Paul.